Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So today I want to show you this e-bike from Fifth Wheel. This is called the Fifth Wheel Mate, and it is a mountain bike style e-bike. And I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about it. We want to show you what the assembly process is like. We want to go for a ride so you'll see how it fares on more hilly areas and just how smooth it is. And so you'll be able to figure out whether this bike is going to be worth your hard-earned money. Now, right off the bat, one of the things that I like most about it is the color scheme. It comes in a couple different color schemes. And when Fifth Wheel sent this one over to me, I didn't know what color they were going to choose, but I'm really glad they picked this one with the black and orange aesthetic, which just so happens to be one of my favorite color combinations. So it definitely has that going for it. What it also has going for it is this motor in the back. It is a 500 watt motor, but it peaks at 1000 watts. We got some disc brakes on the front as well as the back. And then what is pretty much standard on a lot of e-bikes, especially some of the more affordable ones, this 7-speed Shimano shifter here on the right side. And that's going to help you if you need to tackle some more steeper hills that might be in your area, just to make things easier for you to pedal. And when you're on flat ground, you can also use the shifter to give you more resistance in these pedals so that you can really feel like you're doing something. Since this is an electric bike, you might be wondering what the top speed is. Well, you can get up to 20 miles per hour on this bike, whether you are pedaling or if you decide to use the throttle here that's on the right handlebar. But there's also a way for you to increase the speed even further by going into the settings and changing just one particular setting, and that's going to help to boost the speed. When I lifted up the back tire to try that out, I went from around 20 miles per hour on the first default mode. Then when I bumped it up, the speed got up to about 26 miles per hour. Some other features that it has includes this powered headlight here that's controlled with a button on the left side. So you can turn that on so people can always know that you're coming. It also has a fairly loud digital horn also right underneath the lighting button. Then you also have this screen on the left handlebar as well, and that's going to help you to move through your different pedal assist modes. There are 3 pedal assist modes in total, and you'll also be able to see things such as your mileage. You'll be able to see the remaining voltage in your battery. There's an odometer on there, and it is a color screen, so that's nice. You also get a reflector for the front, and you get a reflector on the back. The seat can be adjusted here by just simply undoing this latch, and then you can lift the seat up as high as you need to, bring it back down as low as you need to, and then you can just cinch it shut, and it's a nice secure fit. You're also going to get some suspension here on the front that's going to help when you start going over bumps and stuff so that you don't feel them as much. So that's good to have as well. And then there's also just a little bit of suspension here on the back of this seat. This has some rather thinner tires compared to what you might see on some other e-bikes, that some of them have like nice big fat tires, but these are just more traditional mountain bike tires. So they're much skinnier. So if that's something you're looking for, this bike definitely offers that from that perspective as well. So that pretty much covers the physical aspect of it. But now let me tell you what it was like to put this together. Some very important assembly things that I think you should know. Then I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go for a ride and see what that experience is like too. So now that I got the bike all put together, I'm able to think back and give you some tips and tricks on the assembling process, just to make things a little bit easier for you so you don't run into some similar pitfalls that I ran into. So in retrospect, it's not difficult to put together, but there are some things that you should be aware of. For example, notice the position of this part here that's connected to the fork. You see how this is just sticking out a bit from the frame of the bike? You can easily get this reversed so that this part here that has like this opening with this arc, this can be turned basically in the opposite direction so that it's back here instead of being up here. And the reason why you want it to be in this position is because this is where you're going to mount this front headlight. And if you have this portion here completely reversed, then the headlight is going to be positioned right here. And when you want to engage the suspension on the bike as it goes down, it's going to be hitting the very top of the headlight. So you want to make sure that you have this part here facing forward, away from the majority of the bike. So just make sure that you've got that settled. And these pedals are pretty straightforward, but you do need to remember that they are labeled left and right because they're supposed to go in specific places. So you see that the pedal here is labeled R with this red sticker, and then over here this is also labeled R. You kind of get it started going clockwise with the right pedal, counterclockwise with the left one. You get it nice and finger tight, then you can use a wrench, and then you can just grab the rest and just make sure that it's good and snug on there. And one of the most unique assembly procedures that you have to do involves making sure that this wheel is locked into place. And they give you a tool for that, and it comes with these two springs, and you take the springs off and you basically feed this long part through the place where your tires are connected to the fork, and it pokes out through the other side. And then you have to put the spring back on, and then you have to tighten it down with one hand, but then with your other hand, you're supposed to tighten the other end where this lever right here is sticking out. And then once you tighten both ends, this right here, it's folded down, but then you can just press it up and you can feel it nice and tight. And it's going to make sure that it's locked into place to keep the tire in place. And lastly, and this is very important, you definitely want to make sure that these 4 screws right here, right here, right here, and right here are really good and tight, because that is going to prevent these handlebars from tilting while you're riding. So before you start going out and doing anything, just get on the bike and just really like push down on these, with some pretty decent force. Because if these bolts are not tightened and they're not secure enough, then it will cause the handlebars to just flip down, which can be quite dangerous when you're in the middle of riding. So you definitely don't want this tilting. So whenever I try an e-bike, in order for me to know whether or not it's going to be powerful enough for what I need it to do, is I take it on this hill, which is one of the steepest hills that I've come across in this area. And I'm going to see how much effort it takes to get up this hill. Now, as I'm just riding right now, I'm just kind of going downhill a little bit, 10 miles per hour, only using pedal assist 1. And I can pretty much just coast like this, if I want. Or I can just increase my gear so I can have a little bit more resistance in the pedals, so I can feel like I'm doing something other than just ghost pedaling. But as I get closer to this hill, and hopefully you're able to see it. Now, I'm not too sure what the incline is and the degree of this incline, but I can tell you, if you're not using an electric bike, it is extremely difficult to pedal up this hill. And even in a small, not so powerful car, you can also kind of hear it bogging down just a little bit as you start to get to the top. So I'm starting to get a bit closer now. I'm going to bump myself down to first gear. I'm going to put it up to pedal assist number 2 only. 10 miles per hour right now. And I'm going to see how much effort I'm going to put in. So I can definitely hear this motor is working. I'm down to 6 miles per hour. Bump it up to pedal assist 3 and give me a little bit more power. So I'm only going 5 miles per hour, but I did manage to make it up this hill without too much effort. Took some pedaling power for sure, but I didn't have to get out of my seat. And it wasn't bad at all. And that is the most severe hill in this area. This bike was able to handle it without any trouble. Not going to be going fast up the hill, but definitely made it through. Now, this bike can get up to 20 miles per hour if you are just pedaling on a nice flat surface regularly, but the speedometer is capable of reading even more. See, as I go down this hill here, all right, so now as I'm going down this hill now, I'm not pedaling at all, and it's at 20 miles an hour. Still going down to 24, completely downhill, 25. So hit a maximum of 25 miles per hour just going downhill with no pedaling at all. I've gone as high as 30 miles per hour just going down this hill. Let me go up here. That's when the suspension takes over, so you don't feel so much of the bumps as you hit them. But since I am talking about speed a little bit, you are able to increase the speed of this bike by going into the menu system. You're holding down the plus and the minus key, and then you're going to be going over to one of the functions I'll have to clarify a little bit later, and you'll change it from number 1 to number 2. And when I did that, I lifted up the back tire and went full throttle. And on level 1, the maximum speed that tire hit was about 19 to 20 miles per hour. And then after I bumped it up to 2, it went up to about 26 miles per hour. And that's just going full throttle, assuming that you, again, are on flat land and you have nothing bogging you down. But this right here is also a bit of an incline. I'm in second gear, not putting in too much work. Managed to go up this without any problems. I was in pedal assist 2 that time. Now I'm just gonna back it down a bit. And the ride is pretty smooth, you know? It's a good smooth ride. The gears, shifting, it's pretty easy. I feel like there's a little bit of a break-in period where sometimes I'm shifting up the gears and I can hear the chain still moving around a little bit afterwards, but as I've put more miles on this bike, it's just gotten more silent. So it's a good smooth experience. Let me show you this hill, kind of just going downhill here. Now again, this is no throttle, no pedal. I am up to 30 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour going down that hill. So that should tell you that from the steepest hill that I showed you earlier, going down without pedaling was able to get me up to 30 miles an hour. So that definitely lets you know how serious that hill was. You know, the way that I like to ride e-bikes is I still like to pedal, you know. I don't treat it like it's a little tiny motorcycle and I just go full throttle all the time. You know, I still want to feel like I got some sort of control with my legs. I want to pedal. I want to move the bike forward, and I just want the bike to, you know, just assist me in doing that. So a lot of the time when I'm riding around, I'm doing pedal assist number 1. And since there's really like no place around that is like a nice flat surface, I'm gonna throttle it here on this sidewalk to see what the speed is going to be like. Though I do recommend that you don't do this on a sidewalk because you still want to be sensible just in case there's anybody here. So Starting from 0, just going to full throttle it all the way until we can kind of get to the end, and we'll see where we're at. So we're going up a little bit. There's a little bit of an incline, a little bit of a slope down. I'm at 20 miles an hour. All right, so we're going up a little bit here. We're going down to 19. Still going up, so we've gone down to 18. Still going up, so we're down to 16. We should level off in a second. Down to 15. Now we're back up to 16, picking up a little bit more speed. 17. Now we're at 20, 22. All right, now let's begin to slow down here. So 22 is what I was able to get on this straightaway, basically. And like I said, I had switched the power level. I think it was like P1 and P2 when you go into the settings. And if you change one of those Ps to 2 from its default position, which is 1, then you'll unlock a little bit more speed. So I'm going 20 right now. I'm not even pedaling. There's just the landscape of where I'm at. But again, there's nobody on these sidewalks, so there's no one coming. So I'm not really feeling the need to manage my speed all that much. But like I said, I totally recommend that you do so. So here's somebody right here, which is a good reason why you don't want to do that. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, just kind of to move out of the way a little bit, to give pedestrians the right of way. So still in pedal assist 1, in case you're wondering. This little part right here, this does not come with the bike. This part here, this does not come with the bike. These are just accessories that I put on. But yeah, in the time I've been riding this thing, it's a pleasant experience. It's smooth. The bike's got some pretty decent torque as well. Just kind of off the line when you hit the throttle. Ooh, that was a bunny. So, another thing that I like about this bike is its weight. It's not a very heavy bike to move around. So if I wanted to just turn around here, I can just grab it by the frame and just easily pick it up and turn it around, or just go back this way. It's not super heavy like some other e-bikes are. So, I just kind of like the lightweight nature of it. Got a 7-speed shifter here, which from what I've seen is just pretty standard fare when it comes to, affordable e-bikes. Tend to have these Shimano shifters. So with these 7 gears, they're definitely good enough for, I think, most situations, most regular urban situations, stuff kind of like this. Help you to get up some hills that might be a little bit more difficult. Right now I'm at 3. I'm doing a little bit of ghost pedaling, so I'll just move it up to 4. And I can feel some fair resistance with it. And again, I'm still using pedal assist 1, which is going to give you the most battery life. If you're doing full throttle all the time, or if you're constantly at pedal assist 3, which is as high as it can go, then that's going to give you less battery life. I'm going to work on just going across the street here, right off this line, to really quick to get me up to about 13 miles an hour just to get across that street, so everything will be nice and safe. We just enjoy the ride again. We got a speed bump ahead. Let's see how this takes to the speed bump with the suspension. Yeah, that felt nice. I don't think bicycle seats are really my friend. It's okay for a seat, but for someone like me, I feel like I would need a little bit of extra padding. So I feel like I would need like a some padded cycling shorts or something to really help me along. But seat's not bad. It's also got a little bit of suspension in the seats. What more can I say about this bike other than I've been really enjoying my time with it? Like I said, it's lightweight, can maneuver pretty easily, pretty good speed right off the line. So, if you're not trying to just haul butt all around your town or your city going as fast as you can go, and you're just wanting to just take things easy, you don't always have to be in the highest pedal assist level, you don't always have to be going as fast as you possibly can. You just want something light, something that's smooth, comfortable, and get you where you need to go, or just help you get out and take a look at the sights around. And this fifth wheel mate is going to be good for you, especially since it's got this 500-watt motor that peaks at 1,000 watts, and that basically just means it'll help you out whenever you encounter those rough hills. I've tried going up some of these hills with a regular non-electric bike. It was extremely difficult, and really I couldn't even do it. Really, I needed to get off and just walk the bike. You don't have to do it with something like this. You can stay planted down on the seat the entire time. And I honestly feel that maybe unless you live in the steepest hills of California, then this is going to be just the right amount of power that you need. So that's going to do it for now. You want to check out this bike? I'll leave a link in the description to where you can find it. You'll be able to get the latest prices available for it. But based on my experience, I'm digging it. I'm liking it. And I'm going to continue to use it. So, and another thing, about the battery that you have. A couple ways you can charge this battery up. You can keep it on the bike and charge it. You can take it off the bike and charge it. It's really whatever you want to do. But thank you all so much for watching. So until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you soon.